All right, test, test, test. There we go. All right, so I was doing a whole lot of talking and my mic wasn't actually connected. There we go. So we got a mic. All right. So let's start from the beginning. So a lot of traders have a little bit of a little bit of a problem when trading, and I think a lot of that issue is based on the parameters that one, as a trader, you want to make sure that you are practicing properly. So we're going to so all right. Got one of my clients I gotta do it. So let's start from the beginning. So for us to paper trade properly, the paper trading has to be a certain, you got to have a certain objective. You got to do it the right way, and you got to do it in a way that is going to be consistent of being successful. So let's start from the beginning. And the first thing is actually, let me maximize, make sure I got the right camera. There we go. First, and of course, this is not flipped. Let's get this right. Vertically and horizontally. All right. So the first thing when you're dealing with paper trading, let me move my keyboard out the way. When you're dealing with paper trading, a couple of things that you have to realize. One, paper trading has a purpose. Its first design is skill development without any risk. That way you're not costing yourself any money, right? Then the next thing is it allows you to test new strategies so that way you can be able to see what those strategies can do for you when it's all said and done. So that's test new strategies. And then right here is adapt. You can adapt to changing market conditions, understand and manage your emotions, and then master execution mechanics, track and analyze your performance, build confidence. That's the general theme and purpose of trading when it's all said and done. And when you're paper trading it, you want to make sure you align all of this. And then the ones that's for your live is skill, adapt, understand, and master. Skill, developing your skills, adapting to the market changes, understanding and managing your emotions, and mastering the mechanics, because we're going to need all that to poise, right? To keep your composure and be poised. So we're going to plan out our trades, which is why we're getting in, what is our entry, when do we get out, and then we're going to observe how the plan will work, implement the execution, study, follow the flow of the trade, and then exit the implementation of the win, which allows us to get out of the trades. So that said, let's go back to the chart. Let's take a peek at a couple of tickers and see what is going to be the general game plan for the market. Let's see. We have, should I go Netflix? Let's start off from the top. Let's go with Netflix. Get these drawings out and let me minimize that so we can see it all. All right, so Netflix, if we look at this as a whole, this thing has been pushing to the upside, and we got a nice little solid support right here. I'll call this general. And this is what we're kind of bouncing off of here. I was considering taking something to the upside because it's been holding firm to try to get to that 1,000 and hold. I don't think we're going to hold above 1,000, but just in case we do, this would be a good area for us to look for a rejection inside of the market, because they're trying to push this bad boy up, but I don't think they got enough. They might need to come back inside of this gap a little bit. Let's look at Meta. Meta is another good example. Nice little push up right here. Got a good support, and this area is an order block. So 700 is going to be a tough area. We're down pre-market slightly, but I think we could continue up. They had solid earnings. Look at Google. Google just had their earnings and they pretty much gave everything back. This was a violent little move back. We had a nice little trend that was building right here. A couple other deviations of that trend right about here, but they're giving everything back. What happened? Missed revenue slightly. So I think this is a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction to the market. So we could see Google refill that imbalance relatively quick. So the reason why I'm doing this in the first place is to kind of get a little bit of sense of where the market is going to go. Actually, let me come down here and grab my other charts and I'll point them out. Let's see. Let's go with the ones that are going to have earnings here. Yeah, that was a nice little bounce there. So let's do that. Lilly, Eli Lilly. If you don't know who they are the ones that actually make all those Ozempic and weight loss drugs and everything. Part of their rally was built on that. So let's go ahead and get rid of all these drawings and kind of start with a clean slate. Look at that. That looks like a real big W right here as they try to make a nice little continuation back up to that upside. This would be very interesting if they did that. Actually, let me get my Instagram chats over on this side. So what I try to do. There we go. All right. So the first thing that I want to point out is that Eli Lilly on this week, on this daily, looks like we could get right past 846 and come back up again and then test that gap. I kind of pause a little bit. If we go on to the monthly, it is at its lower register here. It is bullish here, but this is the reason why we're down here in the first place was because they pulled back. Let's see a fib on this one. Call it main, and let's extend this to the right. And let's see. This top. So we're getting a nice little 236 bounce here where we could continue to the upside right here. Solid move there. Let's look at the weekly. Let's see what type of trend. 3 weeks of green, so we could get a little bit of a cool down. Nice little setup here with the stochastic and the MACD. This could be a continuation. I was looking for a little bit more of a drop down here, but since we're coming up to earnings and that is going to be tomorrow, Thursday morning, $5 per share is what they're looking for, about 13 billion. Let's see what they did last month or last quarter. A big jump on EPS, that's solid, and then we got this nice little move right here, so we'll see how that pans out. Let's see what's a good level, because I one of the levels I was looking at was it breaking above here around that 812 area. Had a nice little wick here, they pushed it down, and when they pushed it down it kind of had a nice little takeover to kind of go right back up. So let's see what ends up happening here. If this thing can go ahead and give us another push, get past 845 and continue up. Let's see who else. We already talked about Google. Let's talk about Datadog. Datadog is the competitor to like your CrowdStrikes and your Palo Alto, PanW. Let's see what we have. I would love for Datadog to have a nice little move. Let's go ahead and get rid of these drawings here. So we got, let's say, Lily, D-Dog, and their competitors like Pan W. What's another one? CrowdStrike. Let's see. Looks like a nice little setup to the upside here. We come back over to the monthly. That didn't really have a fall. Could they get another extension to this downside? Because they bought up the dip here, right? And they try to kind of give it a nice little push up here. But if this thing actually falls short, we could get a nice little drop down into these lower levels. Let's come back to the weekly. Yeah, nice little hammer. If we can't recapture this wick, it could cause a little bit of a problem. Let's see what the daily has. The daily is almost like wedging. So with Datadog, I am looking at this level here and this level here because we kind of in a bit of a range, looking to see if we can kind of get a nice little push to the downside. Let us. I almost want to say more downside, but if we can cut through this zero line here on this daily, I can see Datadog getting to 150. See, in the weekly, look like the party just started on the stochastic, and the monthly is already bullish, so they can turn this back around. Actually, you know what? I think I like Datadog. Let me put a star right there for Datadog. Might have to play that one this week. Let me see some others. Dell actually moves really, really well for trading. Let's see what we have here. And nice little injection here. It needs to break back above 112 if this thing's going to make any type of real move up. Let me go ahead and pull this up for y'all. I thought this thing was going to just drop off a cliff because I never really cared for Dell computers. I don't think they have a great product. They just mass produce. Kind of like the Walmarts of computers. I'd rather get an HP. And of course, Apple, when it's all said and done, those are the ones that's a little bit better. Let's see. So, nice little push to the downside. If we're going to reverse this, we're going to have to try to start to get through this candle. We're already going to go test the 236. That's what it looks like here. Let's see this daily. The daily had a nice little push for the past 2 days, but they did gap it down here. It is still on the bearish side, so it's going to have to show me something nice before I actually take this serious. Their earnings is all the way in February 25th at the end of the month. Let me put Dell in that watch. Let's see, we give it another minute or so. Let's see if we can find another one. Uber, actually, let's talk about Uber. Uber did something that was a little disrespectful. I was a little upset with that one, but it's okay because this market is going to do whatever they want to do. Talk about Uber. So I felt like last week or so that Uber was going to get a nice little bounce, and it kind of was on this kind of like trend here and then trend here. Then we kind of made a higher high over here, like that, right? That's why, guys, I still got this alert here. Actually, let me get rid of this alert. I'm done with that. But they kind of re-pivoted it. Like they kind of liquidated back here, come back to 65. I thought it was going to fail, but then we had a nice little bounce here, and now we're kind of doing this little micro trend kind of breakout here. And that was a little bit of a bump and run back down to this downside. So earnings is going to be tomorrow morning. I think this is going to be a solid one. Probably going to give us a little bit more of an upside. Let's see. Let's see. Mm, 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 mm. Let's look at the other earnings. They did a massive surprise there, and they still got the EPS at 0.49. So yeah, I would say because of that surprise on this one, I'm anticipating that there's going to be a surprise tomorrow morning. So look for Uber to maybe get around $76 to 77 if it does that pop. I do think that because of the way the earnings cycle has been going this week, I will not be surprised if it does drop first, but I think eventually by the end of the month it probably gets to like $76. So actually, let me put Uber. Uber is gonna have a start too. That's probably one that we're gonna trade. So let's see some levels. Let's come up to the monthly one more time. Let's see how this is, and then we'll probably watch some NQ and see if we can find some trades inside of NQ. All right, so that 65 looked like it was a 50% retracement of this candle here on the January candle, and we're probably going to break out of this area. Let's see. Let me get rid of this fib and let's put another one, but we're going to start from this red candle. What levels are they knocking out? Pre-market, we're above it. This is level here, so we're looking at 70.42, and we got a nice little move to the upside here, and they're holding that. So 70.42, and then we're at 70.75 right now, getting a 786 retracement and probably get a full reversal. I would not be surprised if Uber gets to $82. So that should be a good solid. Let's see, Uber to 82. All right, let's do a last one. Oh, actually, it's only 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll do a last one. So last one, it is, I think I want to go CMG. Let's go CMG only because they had a stock split. So Chipotle had a stock split 50 to 1. So this is a $50 stock right now. And this one had their earnings. I want to say, oh, slight miss on revenue. Oh my God, I'm telling you, the market is just being completely jerkish right now. But they barely missed it. We're probably doing this because we were already in a sense of a downtrend, and we're probably getting like a continuation down. But right now, that continuation down is built on this, and we already broke that. That was our deviation here, then here, and then here. So now we had a nice little solid base that was built here around that 56. Now pushed up. I think they just came down to 56. So let's go CMG Cash Money Group. Just joking. $56. Let's go with that. $56 are our base. And I would be targeting, let's target that gap. I would say to target at $61. 61 Chipotle. All right. So that is my take on the market for February. Nice little quick overview. Tossed it over on Instagram for my YouTube. I apologize for the tiny screen. I know you're not used to this, but if you're on your phone, it should be very feasible so you can see everything that I have. That said, thank you for taking the time, checking out the video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button, that we can keep this party going for a long time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.